You have to be guided by your core values. Because if you don't have some deeply rooted core values that can help you navigate the terrains of leadership, navigate the terrains of toxic cultures, navigate the terrains of trying to break those cultures and create something that's transformative, then that's going to be a challenge. So, Ali, I want you to talk to us about a bit about your values personally, your values as a professional, and how you ensure that transcends in the culture that you're building at Pace Digital.
Okay, great. What I would say to you is that I just have this one kind of ground rule in terms of how I manage two things and two people. I want to be the best that I can be, right? Generally. I want to achieve all the things, and I have this saying where anything that God has put my name on, I want it. So for me, that feeds into how driven I am. That feeds into my commitment level. That feeds into how I show up. You know, the confidence I bring, the boldness to get uncomfortable, because growth and comfort cannot coexist. And all of those things molded together, right? In a package where I just want to be a good person. So being a good person for me means that I want to treat people the way that they deserve to be treated. Right? I want to treat people, even if they don't know that that's how they deserve to be treated. I want to make them understand that they're valuable. Right? And I think that in living my own life in that way, that translates to how I show up as a leader. So as a leader, I gotta tell you, I'm not the traditional CEO. Right? I'm not. I am very intentional to carve out time, not just to focus on the growth and the and KPIs of the business or the profit levels, but on people. And because there's an intentional focus on people, I'm having conversations daily about how's this person performing? What can we do to help them? Where do we need to change so that the overall is, there's a better level of satisfaction? Why do I feel as though this person is disconnected? And so things that I observe from afar, because, obviously in my role, I'm focused on so many other things that are a little ways down the road from where the team is at. But I am always kind of having my eyes on the people. And one of the things that I bring to the organization that has been instrumental in the growth the company has had is that one of the things that I'm passionate about is continuous improvement. So as a value within our organization, the team has been cultured to self-disrupt. It's not about getting comfortable because this works. It's about how can we make it better? And every year I challenge them through our business planning process to say, okay, well, how can we make this easier for the customer? How can we make this process easier? And sometimes it's uncomfortable because they think, oh, well, Alison always want to do this or that. But then they realize that the enhancements and the efficiency actually makes their life easier, makes the customer's life easier. And one of the things that we're also very passionate about is customer-centric development. So it's not just about changing for the sake of changing, but how do we take friction out of the process? How do we streamline the process? How do we add more convenience? And these are things that have been almost wired into the team from the time that I've joined the organization. So, and that's where the whole idea that the growth of the company is happening along the growth of the people, because they're always embarking on something new. And that's where they have the opportunity to align them what they're learning and what they're being exposed to the results of the organization.
That's amazing. I really want to underscore what you have shared on self disrupt. I absolutely love that word. You encourage the team daily to self disrupt. And there's so many questions that came after you mentioned that. In my mind, I'm wondering, well, how are you navigating? How are you leading persons through something like that? Because change, I was given as you know, and addressed the other day, speaking about nourishing the future by changing today. And I've said to the team, change is personal, and you're leading an entire team where each individual is experiencing that on a personal level in different ways. What it showed me is that a lot of companies think that culture and the approaches that we ought to take is only rooted in the systemic or the structured processes that we implement. Okay, we're having performance appraisals annually or biannually or quarterly. Let's wait until then, or let's get into the routine of having a town hall once a month, and we think that we are doing enough. But I
Right.
believe that what you are sharing here, Alison, is really establishing a standard of leadership, because this is something that needs to be done on a daily basis, continuously, ongoing. In every moment, you have to show up as that purposeful leader that allows persons to self-disrupt, that allows persons to be challenged, that forces them out of their comfort zone so that they can be better, because they're going to be better for
That's
themselves and they're going to be better for the organization. And I absolutely
that's
love that.
Yeah, that's it right there, right? I will say to you that as a leader, one of the things I learned very early, and you always have experiences where you have really good leaders and some not so good ones. So you get to learn a little bit. If you are willing to be refined and take all the things that you see as strengths and take the weaknesses and say, okay, flip those on their head and start to be intentional about how you then do the opposite of what you did not like in your experience. And then those things
Mm,
collectively have shaped my leadership. And one of the things I will tell you is that I'm a very deliberate person, very, very deliberate in how I manage and how I lead. And I will say that even managing through all of the changes that we have embarked on, and trust me, Cara, it's been plenty, and they have been big, and they have been transformational, right? And they've had customer impact, employee impact, shareholder impact. The company is just doing very, very well. And it's come when I look back, and it's only this week I was actually, for whatever reason, I was creating a graph that kind of had the 10-year view on it. And I thought, my goodness, right? And to be a part of that, I think is a message that I'm always sharing with the team. This is not an Allison show. We have done this. And this is how I engage with them so that they understand the role that they're playing as part of the vision that we're executing. And I think, just being very intentional about how we manage to change. I will say this to you. There's a point at which we have been changing so rapidly and just in a moment of transition where I feel now like if we've had so much change that there's a point where there's a little bit of imbalance within the team. There's still the vision is still there, but there's so many initiatives and engagement activities that we have that have now become almost like the norm for us. And what I
mm,
found as a leader is that people become very complacent very quickly. And I'm just gonna be real with you, right? Because that's just who I
mm,
am. And that level of, if you're experiencing so many things that maybe your peers and other organizations are not experiencing, you don't think it is your norm. So your expectations have increased, right? And if that
mm,
level of expectation has increased because of the growth or the comfort that you've had, and we don't continue to refine and bring improvements to that, then there's a point where it becomes an imbalance because you've received so much or you've achieved so much that you want to say, oh, some people could get a little bit of, I don't know if the word is plateau or, maybe exhaustion from the constant rigors of the change. That being said, the vision has not shifted. One of the things I know that I am as a leader, the team is still not gotten used to is the pace at which I expect things. Right. So that's
mm.
a cultural thing that over time I have still grappled with because the rate at which I'm accustomed to moving, there's still a lag in that particular area. So it's only when they experience me directly that they say, oh my goodness, and there's a little bit of, like, like this woman wants everything now. But that is also part of me being deliberate because recognizing a sense of urgency is a very critical
Yes.
skill that a leader has to instill in their team, because otherwise people become very complacent very quickly, and it's when I get to it.
Mm.
Whereas some things are, no, I need to accelerate the speed at which I'm doing it. And those are some of the things that I still grapple with in terms of kind of shaping the culture that I would like. Given that yes, a lot of work has taken place to bring the team to where they are, but I'm also very conscious that I am working with a team that's certain behaviors and traits have already been ingrained in.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you touched there because I know a couple organizations, a couple persons that would have shared before that struggle with that same sense of urgency amongst their team, particularly when you're at a stage of communicating a new vision or a new objective that is critical, that has to be achieved right now, or else, we don't know where everything will land, right?
Yeah.